and I'd be
I
tickled
always
pink
have
to
my
go on.
bags packed. I have a suitcase. I have a suitcase with
That's
all my
it goes.
back in the
You
backpack
put it back in the same
and
suitcase.
back in the suitcase, and then I'm just ready to go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching, and now let's get rolling.
All right, guys, here we are back to Mark the Point and Brian from Holy Roller. How you doing, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, doing well, doing well. Excited to
All
be
right,
here. Let's.
let's do it. This is going to be our second segment, guys. This is going to be like some of the nuts and bolts of what we're going to do here. We're going to have some good stuff to talk about, so make sure you stay tuned and watch. So
All right.
you and I both love cruising. Let's be honest with you, right? I like to cruise. I have a different
Yeah.
perspective of what boats I use, but that's okay. We're not going to judge. This is a judge-free YouTube channel, right? Okay, we don't
Well,
talk
yeah. The
about.
fact that you called it a boat rather than a ship, I'll let that slide.
Hey,
Judge free.
that's my southern. That's the southern guy in me. Okay, it's if it's floats, it's a boat. I don't care if it's a big boat, small boat. Sorry, Jenny. If it's a big, whatever it is, it's a boat. Okay, let's be honest.
Okay.
However, there are two major cruise. There's more than two major cruise lines, but we're going to focus probably on two major cruise lines. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, at least for right now. I mean, mine is Royal Caribbean.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that. What, in your terms of your experience in play, in your experience of anything that you do as far as offers, casino gaming, the overall experience, right? What would you say the Royal Caribbean offers to the average person, average to a let's do it to an average person and to a casino player? What are the perks that Royal gives you or gives that person to make them want to go to Royal?
Well, first, let me just say, this is judge-free zone. We already said, but a lot of times there are these stereotypes that go out on different people that would be on different cruise lines. So
Right.
like I think, and I could be wrong, is things that I've heard, not that I've personally experienced. I've been on one Princess. It was like I think it was early summer. School was still in, so I didn't see a lot of kids, and I didn't. All I saw was a lot of older people, And
Mhm.
I was like the young. My wife and I were like one of the youngest people, on the ship. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Princess is the for old people. But that I've heard that,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying that because I really liked Princess and Carnival is actually Carnival and Princess are like the same owners, much like
Mhm.
a Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. So then you have the other cruise lines that maybe the more of a elegant, rich crowd. Like
Yeah.
all of So it depends on I guess what you hear and what you've experienced. But with my experience with Royal Caribbean, I think that it is a family friendly kind of ship where there's a
Okay.
lot to do for all ages. So we do see a lot of kids, we see older people, we see, all generation. And I think that's one thing that Royal, and by the way, I'm not sponsored by Royal. I don't make
No, and
money
I'm not sponsored by
talking about
Carnival
it.
either. Thankfully.
Yeah, we don't, and we're not travel agents. We're not
Mm-mm.
not
We're
trying
not going to
to,
sell you a package for $14.99.
and that's $1,499,
That's
by the
right.
way.
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta leave all the hundreds off. Okay.
No, but yeah, I think it's family friendly. There's lots of stuff to do. But I'll be on the flow rider. I'll be on the water slides. So and I mean, some people don't do that, but I do it. I want to try
Yeah.
everything once.
Hey, what about they get the rock walls, right?
Yeah, I've done the rock walls. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But
So
on
that's kind
Carnival,
of some of the entertainment.
I think on Carnival you guys have like, and I say you guys, but on Carnival they have like roller coasters,
Right. It's
don't they?
my kind of people. It's Carnival people, like we said last time.
Well, see, that's the stereotype stuff. When we talk about the fights, the parties, and the fires, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Carnival.
So, but there is some cool entertainment. Now, I'm gonna talk a little bit to the Royal as well because I think I've one, two. I've been on two Royals. One about 10 years ago, and I just went on one back in June. It is a very fancy show, right? I mean, you're talking about when you walk in, you're talking about fine and dine, the classiness. It's got the nice car, the Rolls Royce, whatever. I mean, it's not Rolls Royce, but the nice car sitting down the middle. You got the bright lights, the big whatever these big sliding cones are. I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally like you're walking downtown Broadway, wherever you're at. I mean, it is a beautiful setup, right? And
And are you? What about Carnival? I mean, you're saying that about Royal. I know
I
some of the Carnival ships are brand new that just
yeah,
came out too.
there is probably, and again, I'm going to only probably speak to the two higher ends that I've been on, which are I mean, as far as I've been on a lot of Carnival ships.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of the two highest levels, which is the Celebration and the Mardi Gras, they are a little fancier. They're nice, but they're not the elegant level of what Royal is. Again,
Oh,
they are nice, but everything is like set up the exact same. Every cruise you go on, it's like you're not ever going on a different cruise because almost every boat feels like the exact same Lido deck, exact same. You know, you got the guys' burgers and the side. Every
oh.
boat you go on doesn't feel like you've gone on a different boat. There's nothing really unique about it, except for the and the celebration and the Mardi Gras are absolutely identical. There's almost I don't think there's anything different if there is something.
Well,
Those are
with Royal,
are a little bit nicer. What's
yeah,
that?
with Royal, they have classes of ships. So they have like the
Mhm.
Oasis class. They have like the Icon class, which is the newest one. There's only one, but there's another one coming out that will be very similar. But like the Oasis class, there's like six ships, and they're very
Okay.
similar. But then when you go on like the Quantum class ship, there's like five different Quantum class ships. They're like they have different. It's a different experience.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So Carnival has two classes. They have the Class E and the Classless, right? So the class the and the Class
That's
E is really
are
just
you?
the higher end
That's a
ship.
joke. That's a joke.
Oh
That's a
God!
joke. Come
Oh
on.
gosh!
Oh
Come
my
on!
gosh.
That was good, though, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that. Now we got to get on the Class E one.
Yeah, make sure you get on the Class E one, which are and let's just be honest with you. And I don't want to get Carnival on my bad side, but it, if you are going to go to do a 3 day cruise or a 4 day cruise, you can expect the quality of the service or boat of that type ship is going to be, and it's going to be a lot older. I mean, we're talking about those boats are from the 1999, 2000, 2001 era, right? And that is a 22, 23-year old boat. They've had a lot of modifications. Sometimes they go through the renovations, but
You need to
if you're
stop
going to go
calling it a
for a better
boat.
experience,
There's going to be people like stopping the video, giving you a thumbs down, and commenting if you keep calling it a boat. I'll tell you that right now.
hey, that's okay. We'll take the comments. We'll take the likes, the thumbs up, or the thumbs down.
All right, make sure. Yeah. Make sure if you're gonna give a thumbs down, hit the
Uh,
thumbs down twice. Okay, just
hit
hit
it
it
twice,
twice.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have you got your dice tracker yet? Make sure to get one of these. Go to holyroller.com or check the link in the description. This is able to track not only your bankroll, but your points towards a free cruise, among other things. So make sure to grab one of these. Now let's get back to it.
But no, I mean, all right. So I'm gonna retrace all that. So I don't want to feel like so it. I love, and this is what I love about Carnival. Okay, so I'm about to really take this, and I'm gonna try to convince you. Are you ready
Okay.
for the challenge?
Yeah.
Okay, challenge accepted. Here we go. So Carnival has been probably my our of course our go-to, right? If you're gonna go for classy, I could say that Royal is much more classier with the look, with that type thing. But I am personally in it for the gambling perspective, for the playing, for the casino level.
Okay.
Because I mean, I do shows, right? We do shows. Shows are top notch, right? They have the big pools. They have all the stuff, the nice dining and stuff like that, like just like everything else does. But when I go, I'm not only am I going very cheap because I get casino offers, right? And our casino offers
Yeah.
are really really nice. But there's also some things that they do. They give us the free play, and I think we talked a little bit about the free play on our last video.
Uh huh.
Some ships actually ships. You heard me say that. Some ships give you cash.
Nice.
Some will give you the free play, right? And I get depending on what kind of room type I get. I'm always getting offers, and now my wife is getting offers too because she's
Nice.
you know what? Okay, here's a plug here, husbands. If you want to get free play, if you want to get these comps, let your wife or your companion or whoever whatever they are, let them play beside you. It doesn't matter if it's they're just playing the inside, if it's they're just playing the 6 and 8, or find a strategy. And I have strategies out on my channel that have combination or team play.
Yeah.
and figure out how y'all can both get incorporated. That way you're both getting points so you can both get offers in the future. We're doing that now where my wife is now getting balcony cruises for Carnival because she played beside me for about literally three cruises in a row. And now, if I want to take my little girl, she'll take, or take my little girl or boy. So we have two kids. So we could literally, all four of us can go for about $600 total on a 1 week balcony play. I get casino play. She's starting to get like $200 casino play. So we're getting free money and we're getting great perks. But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
You ready? So not only are we getting to play for free, but during our play, we get perks. Now, we don't drink. We're not drinkers, but we'll take virgin daiquiris or stuff like that, the virgin pina coladas, whatever. And we'll let our kids, we get them for free anywhere on the boat. And it's not just in the casino, it's all the way through.
Mm. Well,
Also,
that is the
you don't
difference.
have to hit.
The difference with the casino on Royal Caribbean is when you get to that tier level where you have free drinks, it is only free drinks in the casino and while the
That's for
casino's
Prime, right?
open. Yeah, that's for Prime, a tier. But with the Crown and Anchor, you get like 5 free drinks a day once you get to Diamond Plus, which that's what I'm Diamond Plus, so I get 5 free drinks a day that I could use anywhere else.
Right.
Um, but when I'm in the casino, I'm like, bring me a Coke Zero with a glass of ice and keep it coming.
Yeah, and you know what? But they know if they know that players that are gonna drink, they're gonna throw out more money, right? So they start to offer that stuff again. Regardless, I get it anywhere on the ship. It doesn't matter if I'm in the casino or on the Lido deck. It doesn't matter. I get it, right? But there's also some cool perks that I was a little bit disappointed with when on our last Royal Caribbean was whenever well, first of all, we wasn't at Prime, right? And like I said, we do like to have, like I said, virgin daiquiris and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
Miami Vices and all that, just because it's something different than the water. It's something different than the whatever it is, the lemonade that they give you and all that. And so we asked for it, and they said, no, we can't give it to you until you hit 2,500 points. Well, it was only a 4-day cruise for me when I went, and I didn't hit that
Yeah.
2,500 points until the last day, and then they finally honored it. But it took us getting to that last stage versus getting it anytime I want to. The
They're
other
like,
thing was,
congratulations, your last day. Have a
we
drink.
got a sticker, right?
Congratulations.
The other really cool perk that people don't talk about, and I'm gonna give you my live experience. Okay, this is my last cruise. I was on the Carnival Mardi Gras. This was back in June, July, May, one of those months in the summer, spring, something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so first of all, we actually had our two kids with us. So this is ironic. We had our two kids, and we wanted to do a excursion. Okay, so we just imagine we went on the excursion. That was like on a Tuesday, a random Tuesday, something like that. We came back. Well, later on that week, I asked the casino. I said, "Hey, is there anything you could do for us?" I said, we've been playing all week long, and I say later on, like Wednesday, just a couple of days in, and they gave us a free steak dinner. It's like, okay, my kids didn't like the steak dinner, so they went up and played at Kips Ocean. They gave us a steak dinner that night. Went back the next day. Hey, we had the steak dinner last night. We're looking to try to get something different. Like, my wife has been playing all week long. So not only can you look at my comps, but you can look at her comps to see if she qualifies for something. Oh, yeah, we have a nice seafood restaurant. Why don't you come and check it out? We went to a seafood restaurant the next night. This
Oh,
is true
wow.
story. No, I'm not kidding you. We don't eat down there. We don't eat down there. We don't eat at the dining room all that often. Majority of the time when we're eating at a steak dinner or at the seafood dinner, all comp 100% for free. Okay. I'm gonna
Wow.
keep going. I'm not done yet. You ready? So then they come up and watch. They come up and see her sitting at the table. She's playing the casino. She goes, "Hey, Micah, have you gotten a massage lately?" Well, I haven't. No, I would love one though. I tell you what. Why don't you go make you an appointment? Let's go get you a massage. She had 3 massages that week for free, comp
Okay.
100% from the
Okay.
casino.
Well, I will say that when it comes to comps like that, we don't get that kind of comps like that on the Royal Caribbean.
Right.
So maybe that is a reason to go over to Carnival just so I can have a nice steak dinner
Oh, and
and a
I can
massage.
yeah, and I can even give you one last one. You ready? This tops it all
Yeah.
off. This was the last night of the cruise. Okay, last night of the cruise. The casino host. Okay, and a little plug here. When you go into that casino the very first day, this is everybody knows me by name. They know my name. All the dealers know me by night one. The casino host knows me by night one. The pit balls, they all know who Ryan Fetty from Mark Point is. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, and they will
Yeah.
recognize you. Okay. And I'm gonna give you one more perk, and then we're gonna. I think we need to talk about our buy-ins and stuff because that's important
Okay.
to these perks. Okay. But
Okay.
at the
Okay.
very last day, I went back up to the casino and said, "Is there anything else we could do?" They said, "Well, there's not really anything else." I said, "Well, I tell you what, just honest truth. I had about $350 in that. Remember, I told you that first excursion that I did.
Yeah.
They comped because I had extra points. They comped that excursion of all four of us. It was me, my wife, and my two kids. We did a dolphin encounter, and they comped every bit of it for free.
So
Took
you
every
already
bit of it
took
off.
it. Like you
Wiped it
already
out.
okay, yeah. So you already took the excursion, paid for
I
the
took the
excursion.
excursion, and they went back in my account and wiped it clear.
Wow, nice.
And so
Nice.
you're talking about free excursion for four of us, a steak dinners, massages all week long. But and again, we probably should have started with this, and that's maybe got a little too excited. I get a little excited when I talk. Okay, let's just say, but it does count on what you buy in for. That's where it's different than land casinos, right? They see that. Okay,
Yeah.
so one thing that you need to know is if you put down $500 on a craps table, they're gonna exchange it out, count out $500, and okay, here you go. Thank you, Mr. Fetty. But what
Yeah, but
happens if you put
they're
down
not asking you. They're not asking you. Hey, you put out 500. You want a massage? You want a
no?
steak dinner?
Well, but let me ask you this: what if a Brian from Holy Roller put down $3,000 as his buy-in? Do you know what has to happen?
What happens?
So first of all, not the dealer looks at the $3,000. It looks at the pit boss, which is or the I guess the pit boss, whatever, which is right there, right? And
Yeah.
he verifies it. And before they count out every little dollar, they have to get to the main pit boss, the guy that does all the numbers, and look at them. And they all three of them have to verify. So they put
Okay, so
name,
a higher
yes,
buy-in
a higher buy-in,
needs higher approval. Higher
exactly.
approval gets attention.
Gets invisibility.
Yeah,
So
let's
they
like
put
who's that? Who's that? They're here to play.
You're exactly. So they see money, face, $3,000. Gotcha. Hey, Mr. Fetty, thank you, Mr. Fetty. We got you. But and if you continue to buy in at that $3,000, that again, let's just say it's a different casino boss the next day. They rotate in a little bit. It's not a lot of people, but for the most part, they usually have probably two main people that sit at the tables, and then at the end of the week, they have another two more that kind of going through. Either way,
Now,
they know who you are.
yeah, let me. Okay, so say you're like a 300 kind of person, and you
Mhm.
buy in for 3,000, but then play like 44 inside. I mean,
That
do they
That's not
say
yeah. Well,
do they say
you do have to back it up, right? So
okay, so
that's where it all
you
good,
have to play bigger. You have to play bigger if you're going to buy in bigger.
or at least start off playing bigger, right? Like you said, you can't go in
Okay,
at 44 inside, right? Because they're not going to take it. Not say they're not going to take it. $44 is still to some people, good money, and that's their bankroll. If that's your bankroll, that's 100% fine. But if you're
yeah,
willing to put out $3,000 on a table, I mean, I would say 160 at minimum to just start off for the
yeah,
first couple, the first little bit, and then
okay,
if you see where the casino bosses move to the left, move to the right, and you want to regress that thing back down to 96 or 64 across or something like that, that's fine. But you want to see that very first bet, by the way. That's important. What you just said was kind of important. That very
yeah.
first bet is very noticeable, right?
Yeah, because then
When
they're
you
going to
hear the
see,
different
are
stuff,
you really here to play? Like you bought in, you look like you're
right?
here to play, but are you really here to play?
Yeah, if you tell them 220 inside or 270 across, that's a lot different than $44 inside, right?
Yeah, I,
That means you're telling them out front, I'm willing to risk on one roll, it's just one roll for right now, $270 on that first dice, right? That's a
yeah,
big
yeah.
deal.
I think I always when I talk about playing craps and helping people get into the game, I always tell them, like how many numbers do you want to bet? Do you want to bet four numbers? okay, that's $44 or something like that, you know. And if
Mm.
you're going to do that, you want to do it for at least 10 times. So $44, you're going to want to have like 450 or $500. Like, so four numbers, 400 at minimum, right? So what I'm getting at is it's about 10% of your buy-in or your bankroll. So
Right.
if you were, I hear what you're saying. I think if you're going to buy in for 3,000, you should be right around 2 to 300. You know,
Absolutely.
almost that 10%. Put it on the table.
Absolutely. And you have to, again, at any point in time, it's okay to regress down. But I could tell you this again, and these what helps me get to perks, by the way. The first
Okay.
thing that helps you get to perks is your average bet, right? So
Okay.
you're not going to get out. You're like I said, you're not going to get a massage for $44 inside playing that all week long, right?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
continuously do 220, 220, okay, go down to 110. They don't shame that too much, right? And also, if you took that change, the $4, if you put that like even just $4 on the inside, and I do this every single time that
For the
I make a
dealers.
dealer bet.
Yeah.
What's
For
that?
the dealers. Yeah. The dealers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I'm a little I'm a you'll call it, I don't know what you want to call it, but I tell the pit boss, hey, I got your dealers working. Hey, do you see the bet? I got 6 and 8 for the dealers. I don't let them walk away before I tell them that, right? I'm
Yeah.
letting
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
know. I'm letting that pit boss know I'm making dealers for his casino, for his dealers, and I say, hey, if you take care of me, I'll take care of them. What does that mean? That means there's communication, right? If you take care
Yeah.
of me on the points, on the average bet, I'll take care of them of betting for them so they're making money too. They care about their dealers, right? That's
Yeah.
how you're getting the massages because I'm getting my ADT, which I don't know what ADT stands for, but it's your average bet basically. It's at one time it was like $900 on my last Mardi Gras. Was I putting $900 on there every roll? Probably not. But I
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
off at 270 and I'd press and I'd press and I'd press and then I regress. But there was so many times where I did have literally it was over 640, $700 across. I had the hard
Yeah.
ways, I had the ATS, and I looked at the casino boss and said, hey, you look at my bets? Hey, you got me, right? Hey, it's
Yeah.
okay to
Yeah.
do that. You see my bets out there? That you want that communication. Otherwise, what happened is you'll leave around the table, you get 200 points, and you're like, what the heck? Where's all my point? What's going on? Why do I only have 200 points? You know,
Yeah, yeah, and
is
I
it
think
different for y'all a Royal?
on Royal. So you know, there are times where they'll take like a massage or like specialty dining off of your bill. Like,
Mhm.
but you have to get up to like 10,000 points. Once you get up to 10,000 points, that's when they'll take stuff off your bill. But I rarely do that. You know, I don't get that high. And I want to say that the Carnival points, like if you had 5,000 points on Carnival, that's like equal to 2,500 points on Royal. I think just they rate more points, not like not like better comps, but like it's
Mhm.
just from what I understand, because you can look at the website and every dollar spent is a certain amount, and I think Carnival is like, for example, on slots, $5 through a slot gives 1 point on Royal, and I
Mhm.
think it's $2 gives 1 point on Carnival. You know, so like you could get more points, but you're not putting through as much money. But then
Mhm.
to get the same kind of perks that you would get with Royal Caribbean at the $2,500 or 2,500 point level, I
Mhm.
think on Carnival that would be like a 5,000 point level to get those kind of perks.
Right.
But what you're getting is you're getting a lot of perks, but they don't. I haven't experienced that they come up and offer you them. I've had
Mhm.
have them. I have had them take off things. You know, they never asked me if I want to go get a massage, but my
Right.
wife got a massage and they took it off. You know, so I think
Well,
that's the difference.
let me ask you this. Also, how often do you talk to the casino host?
Oh yeah, I think the casino hosts, you need to know them. They need to
Mhm.
know you. If
Yep.
they know you and you know them, is a good thing. And but on Royal, there's a specific system. Like, get this many points and you get a free cruise offer. So people know if I get 800 points, I have a free cruise offer, and I'm
Yeah.
watching my points, whether it's on a slot or whether you play on a table. A lot of you could go over to the slot machine, put in your card. It tells you how many points you got while you're on the table, or you can
Yeah.
ask the host, how many points do I have? But on average, it's your average bet by hour is
Yeah.
what your points are. So if you're
Yeah.
betting $100 for average bet is $100 for 1 hour, you have 100 points. So that's why I try to get to 200 points or $200 or 200 points per hour,
Yeah.
and then after the first session, I have a free cruise. Just in about 4 hours. Because 800 points, you get a free cruise. Now, but with Carnival, you don't really know if you're going to get a free cruise, do you?
Uh, you know what? That's a great question, and that's one thing I need to do some research on because I don't know the threshold. Right? I don't know what that number is. I do know that, like on average, so like you said, you could check your points through putting your card, your sale and sign card, whatever it's called, parent anchor card to the machine. It tells you how many points you have. Well, so
Yeah.
Carnival does the same idea, right? So they use an app, so it catches your casino play on an app. I would love to know what that number is because I don't know.
I don't
And
think they'll tell you because I
I,
think it's very subjective, like who you
yes,
know and if
I
they
think
know
that may be
you.
why. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're 100% right. But I do know this that I had my wife checking every single time that she played because again, I was trying to get her a cruise. I was trying to get her the bump up in points where I actually had her play in my type system, and I was kind of lowballing it just so I could get her more points. Right? That's
Uh-huh.
something you can do if you're getting points and you want her to get points or whoever it is to get points. Let them play your style system and how you bet because I bet again more aggressively. I'm usually an aggressive player so I have more on the table. I was letting her play my way, and I was just going, like I said, 44 inside. I was willing to risk my ADT for that little bit to get her
Yeah.
points. Does that make sense? And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
having her check all the time, and it is different because that last cruise, I ended up getting like 74,000 points. I don't know, and I took
Yeah.
a screenshot of it. I don't know how that equates to what kind of offer I get, but she ended up getting like 28,000 points, right? And she started
Yeah.
getting offers. Again, I don't think the point system is the same, like you said. It's differently. It may even
Right,
be how
right.
it's rated. I don't know, but it's not the same. But either way, can we agree on something?
I hope.
We both love to play craps, and we both
Yeah.
love cruises.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Right, and this a lot of fun, and you know what? I would be tickled pink to go on a Royal Caribbean tomorrow if I had my bags packed, and I'd be
I
tickled
always
pink
have
to
my
go on.
bags packed. I have a suitcase. I have a suitcase with
That's it goes.
all my stuff, and I bought and I just have all my cruise gear and everything. When I get home from the cruise, I wash everything, I fold it, I put it back in the
You
backpack
put it back in the same
and
suitcase.
back in the suitcase, and then I'm just ready to go. It's my bug out bag. I just grab it and go. Like
Woo!
cruise, here we go. I'm ready to go.
That's good.
So
Sign me up.
yeah, I always have my bag packed ready for the next cruise. But I go cruise now. How often do you go cruising?
Well, that's a great question. So, I do go quite a bit. So I think I've been on 5 cruises this year. 2 of them were like 3-day cruises, and 2 of them were 7-day cruises.
Okay.
Maybe it's only 4 cruises, whatever it was. Um, I don't go as much as you do, but I'm still subject to a job, right? So I go on certain weekends that have holiday weekends where I can take advantage of the extra Monday being off. My wife
Okay.
and I usually try to take a vacation to ourselves. So I would say that, you know what, if you're, can I do a plug that's not crap? So here,
Okay.
take time for you and your spouse, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
y'all
yeah.
alone. You have your kids, but find a way to get away. Because I'm telling you, I've been married for 16 years. Take that time of you and your spouse because you need that time away, right?
Yeah.
My wife and it don't have to be 7 days. My wife and I always do a 7-day vacation away. We do a getaway. It's just like a reboot, right? It's a reboot
Right.
for your relationship. So I usually do, usually 7 days there. Then we took our kids on a 7 day cruise. So I've been on 2 7 days and then like 2 3 day cruises. And usually that's about all I do. I got two planned next year. I'm planning on going that I invited you to. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Well, so I do go a little bit more often, but I've created like a life where I can work from anywhere. So as
yeah,
long as I have internet, I can work from anywhere. And there's a lot of people that do. They have remote jobs where they can work from anywhere, and they need internet. And now a lot of almost all the Royal Caribbean ships have Starlink internet, so it's great internet. And
mhm,
so they can work. They can work from the ship, and so a lot of times they do. I don't see them during the day because they're working, and
right,
then at night they come play crafts and stuff. But
right,
but for me, I actually created this channel as a business as well, because speaking about traveling, I heard this story one time and it changed my life and my mindset about traveling or about getting away. And it was a friend of mine, and he wanted to put together like a collage of pictures of like him and his wife's anniversary. And so they looked at all the pictures they had, and the happiest they've been and the pictures that they've taken and the memories that they had were mostly only on vacations. So as he's
yeah,
looking at this like 10-year anniversary, he has pretty much pictures from their vacations,
mhm,
and he said after that, because they would vacation like once a year, he said after that I realized that getting away was so important. And what I started doing is I started doing quarterly retreats, even when I was working the 9 to 5 or whatever. I made sure to take quarterly retreats and getaways. And so I call it getaway with purpose, have a
yeah,
purpose,
love it.
but get away. And some people would say always be booked, always be having a cruise, like, and that's the cool thing about this is you don't have to go once a month. You don't have to go once every 2 months or once every quarter. But the idea is when you go on a cruise, you leave with a free cruise. So you know that your next vacation, whenever you choose to do it, is already paid for. You're
Yeah,
already planning for it. And I think it's a great way to really, because getting away, having a vacation, recharging, taking some rest is very awesome. And so I think
absolutely.
that's probably the one thing that I think most people make a mistake on cruises is they try to do everything. They try to see every show. They try to, do everything that the cruise has to offer. And the cruises just aren't designed that way. They're designed that you can't do everything because they want you to come back. So
Right.
I see a lot of people, they go on a vacation, a cruise vacation, but they are stressed out and they are trying to do everything, running around crazy, trying to get their money's worth, I guess. But when
Well,
you know you don't have to pay full price anymore and you can go for very inexpensive, and you know that you could go back again and again, it's like you do really get a chance to just relax and enjoy your time.
I will say the coolest part to me, and I'm not a stay up late kind of guy. I'm typically not. I'm usually in bed between. It's past my bedtime right now. Let's just be honest, okay? Either way, when you're on a boat, the coolest thing to me is you lose total track of time. You lose total track of where you are. It doesn't matter what's going on. Something is going on that boat. Whether
Yeah.
it's 9 o'clock, whether it's 9 o'clock at a craps table, 7 o'clock eating dinner, whether it's literally people just walking around at 11 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning. If you just happen to go to sleep early, let's just be honest. If you by chance you took a nap at like 6 and woke up at 11, and you woke up, I guarantee there's people walking around on that ship up till 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, just walking around. It's literally like it never sleeps. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even though the casino's not open the whole time, like
Even
there
though
are
it no,
people.
it does
Yeah,
usually close down. I actually have a story about that later. We talk about that, about me shutting down the
yeah.
casino, going
Well,
into Fort Canaveral.
you know what my little tip is for turning a 4-night cruise into an 8-night cruise is a long afternoon nap.
Ooh, I
So
love
you
me
you
some.
wake up in the morning, you spend the first day around lunchtime, and it's like, okay, it's time to go take a nap. You take a nap, you wake up, and it's time for dinner and the nightlife. Here we go.
It started.
So
It started. It
you
started.
turn one day into two with a long afternoon nap.
Well, tell me, do you have any final thoughts on this episode here? What you think? Anything you can think of?
Yeah, I mean, I think the differences between the cruise lines. I mean, there are some differences, but basically, though, we're talking about a cruise, right? So you're gonna get a good experience. I think how you get the free cruise offers is a little bit different on each cruise line. So I think my channel is specifically right now focused on Royal Caribbean. Celebrity is the next one I'm going to go to because that is Royal Caribbean brand. So my loyalty with Royal Caribbean goes over to Celebrity. So I'll try to do that maybe next year, and then I'll start talking about Celebrity and Royal Caribbean. But maybe even before that, if maybe you'll be able to get me going on a Carnival or something. I don't know. Like maybe.
I think if I can find a way next year. Well, you said, are you booked up next year already? Let's be honest.
Uh, yeah, almost. I
Almost.
got 2 months. I got 2 months I'm trying to fill. But I keep it open. I keep it open. And if ever I'm in an area because I'm in Colorado, so I fly in. But the good thing about flying out of Denver is I can get a direct flight to any of the cruise ports. I don't have to get connections or anything.
Mhm.
But if I fly over to an area and then I end up having a cruise where I could just go back to back, I'll just go back to back really quick,
I've
since
never
I'm
done it
over
back to
there.
back. Never done it back to back.
Well, not back to back on the same ship. A lot of times, well, I will say if I'm on an Oasis class ship, and here's a tip. If you're going on these big ships, I said earlier, don't try to do everything. Well, if you're going on a 3 night or 4 night Oasis class ship, you might want to go back to back and do a 4 and then a 3. That's the only way you're going to experience the whole ship.
Mhm.
Again, they want you to come back, so you're not going to be able to experience everything. Imagine, these ships, these Oasis class ships, and you have 3 nights. I mean, you just got unpacked and then slept one night, and then now it's time
Yeah.
to get ready to go.
And they already got the embarkation papers sitting at your door.
I'm like, so
At first night of
I
dinner.
wouldn't I wouldn't do, but I have to fly in. People that are within driving distance, maybe a 3 night makes sense. But for me to get to the cruise port, um, I wouldn't recommend ever doing a 3 night because it's like I said, 4 night is even tough, But I
Mhm.
would I would do like a 5 night or more because like I said, the first 2 days you're just kind of getting bearings, and then it's time to leave already. I don't know. That's
Right.
just me. That's my final thoughts. I'll leave that as my final thoughts.
Well, my final thought is, first of all, thank you for, this to me, this, I love this. This is two guys having fun, chatting, doing a little bit of joke and entertainment. Unfortunately, the comedy is not always there. I apologize. But no, this is fun. I love learning about the new experiences. I hope that somebody who's watching this, you're learning something, right? You're either learning what cruises not to go on, what cruises would maybe fit for you. And overall experience. What have you gained from this? I would say I do particularly like the Carnival cruises because I'm typically getting better offers from them because of the state that I'm at. That's the only reason I argue it to that pen because I've always received the offers. I've always received the
Well,
extra perks.
okay, here's the bonus content. How about some bonus content? Because I
Boom,
found
right
out,
here. I need a little thing that says bonus content right
yeah,
here.
bonus content is this. Whenever you're on a cruise with Royal Caribbean, okay, this is a big difference, I think, and you earn a free cruise certificate, right? It's good. They give you a lot of dates to choose from, but it's good for one cruise to choose. Now, on Carnival, I heard, go ahead, tell me, when you get a certificate,
Yeah, it
how
could be
much
from multiple. Yeah, it could be from multiple.
you
Multiple.
can use it 3 times?
That's right.
It's like three
Yep.
time coupon.
Yeah, yeah, you can definitely use them from multiple, like, and even, okay. So one example is, oh, I think we're supposed to be ending this thing, okay? One example is,
Bonus. It's the bonus
yeah,
content right
this is
here.
for the late nighters. So one example is I was trying to book a cruise on a cruise that you were on, but I already had another cruise booked for that offer, if you want to call it,
Yeah.
and I wasted that offer number on another cruise versus another one I would have wanted to go on. Does that
Oh,
make
with Royal
sense?
Caribbean. Yeah, with Royal Caribbean. Yeah,
With
yeah.
Royal, yeah.
Okay.
Because again, I was offered the whatever it was for the 1 year, but until March 31st, I had an opportunity. I've already used that offer code or whatever it was, and so I can't use that one again. Essentially,
Ah.
so a little disappointed in that, but you know what? We are going to make the best of regardless. I love it, but I love this. This is fun for me. We are going to talk about more stuff, guys. Talking about casino, craps, cruising, and it may not just be craps. We may bring some people on and do a
Yeah,
little bit of
but
an interview series.
yeah. Let's bring some people on that love craps, love cruising, or just love cruising and casino play. Let's bring some people on. That would be cool.
All right. All right, guys. Until next time, you know what? Before we get to that, if you have not subscribed to Brian from Holy Roller, that's this guy right here. If you have not subscribed to him, please go make your way over there, Holy Roller. And mine also, mark the point. If you have not, we are going to try to provide this content as much as possible, or as long as the YouTubes allow us to, and or until people just stop watching this. One way or another, we are going to continue, or we're going to die out pretty quick. Okay, let's just be honest here.
Well,
So,
and you know what would help too if people had any comments or questions,
absolutely,
put them in the comments, and then that way we
yep,
can address it on a future video.
love it. All right, guys. Until next time, mark the point and stay awesome. Go ahead, Brian. What you got?
I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.